So on today's video, I'm going to show you how to make these little crochet pumpkin dolls, perfect for the spooky season. Also, I wanted to quickly say you can find these done products on my Etsy store, so I will drop the link below, and let's get started with the tutorial. So to make this little pumpkin, we're gonna need some light brown yarn, some dark brown yarn for the detail on the feet, an embroidery needle, and some black yarn for the detail of the smile, some green yarn for the stem of the head, and some orange yarn for the head. I'm gonna be using a 2mm hook. The finished result of my one is about between 10 and 12 centimeters tall. We're also gonna need some scissors and stitch markers, and we're also gonna need some fiber fill stuffing and some snap-on eyes. I believe these are between 15 and 20 millimeters. On this one, I don't know if you can see, but I actually used noses. These are meant to be noses. I just put them upside down, so I think it looks a little bit more fun, and also because I don't really have a lot of use for these noses. So yeah, let's get started. We're gonna start by working on the head first. So we're gonna grab our orange yarn and we're gonna start by doing a magic circle. We're gonna do 6 single crochets into the magic circle. Once we got our 6 single crochets, we're gonna tighten up just a little bit. Don't go too hard, otherwise it's gonna be hard for you to go onto the next stitch. And then we're gonna do an increase on every stitch, so our stitch count will go from 6 to 12. We're gonna do 1. Now we're gonna get a stitch marker, and we're going to place it on that first stitch. Now we're going to do our increase, so another single crochet into the same stitch there. Once we have this round done, we're going to move the stitch marker and we're going to do 1 single crochet. And now we're going to do an increase every other stitch. So we just place this one right there. And now in this next stitch we're going to do an increase. So after this round we should have a total of 18 stitches. For the next one we're going to increase to 24, and we're going to be placing an increase every 2 stitches, but to spread out the increases evenly, we're going to do at this start just 1 single crochet, close it up, and now we're going to do an increase on this next one. And now we're gonna start doing 2 single crochets, so 1 in here, 1 in here, and then the increase. So now we're doing every 2 stitches. Now we're going to finish with just a single crochet this way. So now that we got our 24 stitches, we're gonna work another increase every 3 stitches. So we're gonna be working out the same way we did with the 2 increases on every even number. So now we're gonna do 3, so we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna do 1, 2, and 3. And now the increase. This way. Now this round will finish off with 30 stitches. Now we're going to increase once again every 4 stitches. So we're just going to do 1, 2, and the increase. And now 1. So this round should finish off with a total of 36 stitches. Now we're going to do another increase every 5 stitches. So I'm just going to do 1. So we should finish this round with a total of 42 stitches. Now we're gonna do our last round of increases, and that's gonna be every 6 stitches. So we're gonna do 1, 2, and 3, and now the increase. should finish this round with a total of 48 stitches. So now from rounds 9 to 13, we're going to be keeping the same amount of stitches. So we're just going to do single crochets across the whole 48 stitches. So I just did one single crochet, then I'm at mark my 9th round, the starting of my 9th round, right there. Okay, so this is the end of my 9th round. I'm gonna start the 10th now. But what I wanted to show you is, do not remove this stitch marker. Just keep going until you got your 13 rounds. And the way you're gonna keep doing it is, this is the stitch where the stitch marker is. I'm just gonna crochet over it. So there it is. And I'll just crochet over it. Now we're gonna move it, and we're gonna go into the next one. This way. And yeah, just keep it there. This is how you're gonna keep count of your rows, so you know from here to the left it's the 9th round. So now I'm working on my 10th round, and so on until your 13th round. So yeah, I'll see you once I have all my rounds with 48 stitches. Okay, I'm back. I just finished my 13th round. Now I'm gonna do one single crochet and place it back, or you could just place it back on the one behind your loop. And then we're gonna start working on the decreases. So we're gonna start decreasing every 3 stitches. So this is the first one, 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to do a front loop only decrease. So it's also known as an invisible decrease. So we're just going to go front loops only, 1, and then 2, yarn over, yarn through. I'm going to have 2 loops, just yarn over and pull through. And see, it looks just like a single crochet, but we just decreased. And you can count the decreases from the back, because you're going to have the loops that we didn't use. So I'm going to just do 6 single crochets now. 1, see how it's basically unnoticeable? You can lose track of how many single crochets you have done. So just flip your work and you'll see the back loops there. So you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, the one on the loop. And we're gonna be doing this, and at the end we should have a total stitch count of 42. This way. Now we're gonna decrease once again every 5 stitches now. So we're just gonna do 1 single crochet, And now 4 more. And now decrease. So we should have 36 stitches by the end of this round. So I just finished. Again, make sure you have 36 stitches. Now we're gonna decrease once again every 4 stitches now. So I'm just gonna do a single crochet right here. Place my stitch marker back, and now another one, and now the decrease. And at the end of this round, we should have a total of 30 stitches. I just finished this round. Again, make sure you got 30 stitches on this one. Now we're going to decrease once again, this time every 3 stitches. So we're just going to do a single crochet there. One, 2, and 3. And we decrease. At the end of this round, you should have 24 stitches. Make sure you have 24 stitches at the end of this round. And now we're going to do our last round of decreases, and it's going to be every 2 stitches. So we're just going to do 1 single crochet, so that's our first one. And now we're going to do a decrease, and now 2 single crochets, and a decrease. So at the end of this round, we should have a total of 18 stitches. And this is why we have finished the pumpkin head. It doesn't look much like a pumpkin now, but we'll get to details at the end when we're assembling it all together. So now we're just going to remove the stitch marker and close off. So I'm just going to slip stitch. And cut off. Okay, so next we're gonna start working on the stem that will go at the top of the head of our pumpkin doll. So we're gonna grab our green yarn, same crochet hook, 2mm one, and a stitch marker. We're gonna start by once again doing a magic circle. And we're gonna do 4 single crochets in here. Now we're gonna pull a little bit. And we're gonna keep this same 4 single crochets for 5 rounds. So I'm just gonna go to this first stitch. There's one. Make sure you start flipping your work, otherwise it's gonna be too late and it's gonna get harder and harder to crochet. That is one. I'm gonna mark it with this stitch marker. Right there. Just so you know, that is my starting point for the second round. Now we're gonna Okay, so now that we have 5 rounds of the stem done, and I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the hardest part of the whole project. You would think that working on such small pieces would be quicker and easier, but it's actually the opposite, at least for me. And now we're gonna do an increase on every stitch. So we're gonna go from 4 to 8 stitches total. So I'm gonna just go there. I'm gonna do 1 and 2. Place this back so I don't lose the start. And now we're gonna do an increase once again, and we're gonna go from 8 to 16. So we're gonna do an increase on every stitch. One. And that is it. This is gonna be a little stem that will go onto a little buddy's head. So now we're just gonna slip stitch and cut off. Just like that. Make sure to leave a little bit of yarn to sew it into the head. About there. It's probably a little too much, but let me close the top a little bit. There it is. So now we're gonna start working on our little friend's body. We're gonna start by doing the arms. We're gonna need 2 of these done. So we're gonna grab, in my case, light brown yarn. I'm gonna start by doing a magic circle. This way. We're gonna do 6 single crochets on top. This way. I'm gonna pull and close a little bit. Make sure you got your stitch marker close by because we're gonna need it just now. And we're gonna start doing an increase every other stitch. So we're gonna increase our stitch count from 6 to 9. So we're gonna do a single crochet on this first one and mark it, and then 2 on this other one. Now we're gonna remove the stitch marker. And we're gonna do an increase every 2 stitches. So we're gonna bring up our stitch count from 9 to 12. Now we're gonna do a round of just going over the 12 stitches, so just single crochets around. And now we're gonna work at decrease on our next round. We're gonna decrease twice. So we're gonna bring down our stitch count from 12 to 10. So I'm just gonna do 1 front loop only again. That's 1 decrease. And now go to the next one. 2. And now we're just gonna single crochet the rest of the stitches that we have left. Now we're gonna do another round of just single crochet across, keeping the 10 stitches. Now on our next round, we're gonna decrease once again on the next 4 stitches. So like we're gonna decrease into this 2 into 1, and then this 2 into 1, so 2 decreases. I'm just gonna do front loop only again. And another decrease. Now single crochet on the rest of the stitches. Switch your hand up to a total of 8 stitches, and now we're just gonna do single crochet across on this last round. Once we're done, slip stitch and cut off. On this one, we don't need to leave as big a big yarn, because if we see how we're going to attach it, we're not going to sew it into the body. Even though if that's what you want, then go ahead. But I have never heard anyone that crochets saying that assembling is the favorite part. So we got our first little hand here. You're gonna repeat this once again, so you have 2. So see you once I have my other hand. Okay, so next we're gonna start working on the body and legs of our doll. So we're gonna make 2 legs. We're gonna grab the dark brown yarn, or the yarn that you're using for the feet. And we're gonna start by doing a magic ring or magic circle. And we're gonna do 6 single crochets onto the magic circle. Once we have our 6 single crochets, we're gonna pull a little bit. Remember to do it not too hard. Now we're gonna do an increase every other stitch. We're gonna increase from 6 to 9. 1, and now we're gonna use stitch marker here. Now an increase into this second. Now we're gonna do the next round keeping the same amount of stitches, 9. So just gonna single crochet across. And once we are 1 stitch away from being done on this round, we're gonna change colors, and I'll show you how I change colors. I'm gonna pull the loop closer and start turning my work this way. I'm gonna grab the light brown yarn. I'm just gonna make a knot. There. And I'll cut this brown one. And now we'll do the same thing but with the brown one. And now we just pull. It's done. Now we're gonna do a last stitch with this brown one. Oh, once we have joined our yarn, we're gonna do 1 round of just single crochets around it. Do 1 more here. We're gonna need 2 of these, but only 1 you're gonna cut off. So this one, I just finished my last round. I'm not gonna cut off. We're gonna keep working from here. So I'm gonna chain 3, and I'm gonna join my other one with a slip stitch. Now I'm gonna do single crochet, and I'm gonna place my stitch marker there, because now all rounds are starting there. And now we're just gonna go around it. So we're gonna go around the feet. And once we've reached the chain, we're gonna start crocheting on it. So I'm gonna go to this first one, only 1 loop of the chain. second one, and then the third one. And then we go to the other feet, to the other foot. Now we're on the chain on the other side, and again go through the loops and just single crochet. Now we're gonna start on the next round. Okay, so I just did a single crochet there, and now we're gonna do 9 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And now we're gonna work 3 increases on the chain. So there's 3, 1, 2, and 3 are gonna have increases. Once we got all the increases done, we're gonna do once again 9 single crochets. Now on this last 3 stitches, again increases. So at the end of this round, we should have a total of 30 stitches. Now I'm gonna remove the stitch marker, do a single crochet, and place it back. There. Now we're gonna do once again 9 single crochets. So let's choose my first one. Now I'll just do 8 more. And once I've done 9, we're gonna start doing increases every other stitch right here. So we're gonna do 10th single crochet there, and now an increase on the next one, and now 1 single crochet on the next one, and now another increase, and now single crochet, and now we're just gonna do 9 single crochets again. Now we're going to do a 10th single crochet here, and now the increase. So should finish this round with a total of 36 stitches. Now into the next 2 rounds, we're going to keep the same amount of stitches, so 36. We're just going to crochet around. Once again, I recommend you leave your stitch marker so you can count 2 rounds and you don't get lost. So we're just going to do crochets, single crochets around it. I just finished my 2 rounds, keeping the 36 stitch count. This is how it should be looking like. Now we're gonna start with the decreases. So I'm gonna do a single crochet right here, and place back stitch marker. We're gonna do 7 single crochets, so I just did 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And we're gonna do a decrease, front loop only, just like we did on the head. And now another 7 single crochets. And once again a decrease, and we're going to repeat this another 2 times, so 7 decrease, another 2 times. So from this round we should go from 36 to 32. Now we're going to do our next round is just going to be a round of single crochets across, keeping the 32 stitches. So I'm just going to crochet over my stitch mark. You can move it, but I'll just do it real quick over it. And done from the 32 stitch count round. Now we're going to decrease once again from 32 to 24, and we're going to start decreasing every 2 stitches. So we're just going to do, I'm going to count the one where my stitch marker is as 1, then I just did 2, and now we're going to do a decrease. And now another 2 and another decrease, and so on all the way around it. Now we're going to do another round of just single crochet in a round, keeping the same amount of stitches, so 24. And next round we're going to decrease once again from 24 to 18. We're going to be decreasing every 2 stitches, so that was 1 and 2. Now I'll go to the decrease, and so on all the way around. And now you guessed it, another round which is single crochets around, keeping the stitch count, which is going to be 18. And there we have it. Now we're going to start joining the arms. So I'm going to take my stitch marker off that one. and we're gonna do 1 single crochet and place my stitch marker right there, and 2. And now I'm gonna grab my little arm and I'm gonna start attaching it. Make sure, I don't know if you can see it too well in the camera, but they have like the slightly bended to the front. Make sure they are on a good position, like they're not like wonky, one looking to each side or anything like that. So you want them both looking to the right direction. That's what I mean. So now we did our 2 single crochets. Now we're gonna go through the little arm this way. And now we're gonna go onto the stitch, which is gonna be this one. And we're gonna single crochet. We're gonna be doing 4 of those. I just did 1, 2, 3, and lastly 4. That's 1 arm. Now we're gonna go onto this stitch, and we're gonna do 6 single crochets. And now we are gonna grab the other arm like this. And we're gonna do 4 single crochets arm and body all together. So just go through both. Two, 3, and 4. And now we're just gonna go until the last 2 stitches that we have on the back. And now we're gonna do, for next round, I'm gonna remove the stitch marker. We're gonna do a round of 18 stitches, just single crochets around, just so it has a little bit of neck. once that we're done, just take the stitch marker off. We're gonna slip stitch. Pull through. Now we are gonna need to leave a little more of a tail because we need some yarn to close it. So I'm just like that much. And now we have the body, the head with the stem. Now we just have to assemble it. Okay, so to attach it, I just put the eyes there. Let me just compare that. This is how I place my eyes. I don't really follow in the patterns, if I'm following a pattern, where they say for the eyes to go. So I'll just write it on the screen for you for this one, because I saw one of the comments said about it, and I'm sorry. No, we're just gonna place the back of the eyes. Right there. And now we can stuff it so it gets a little bit more firm. Alright. Now we're gonna start sewing it to the body. So we're gonna grab our tapestry needle and make sure the arms, I don't know if you can see here, they're like slightly bent inwards towards my front here. So this is the front and this is gonna be the back. So we want it to be right there. Make sure to leave this the orange one outside because we're gonna need that thread to do the pumpkin shape. So we're just gonna attach it with the brown one. And now that we have finished it, I'm gonna just do a little knot in here. And I'll just tuck it inside. And now we got the orange thread. So now we're gonna put it through the needle. And we're gonna go this way. From shoulder to shoulder, I will say. And we're gonna go I would say like a finger up, or like that's like 2-3 rounds up, not from the base of the head, otherwise you're gonna pull your stitch a lot. From around there. Pull a little bit, oops, not too much. And again through here, and now we do the other side. This way. And again. And now we're gonna do one here, right at the front. You can also move them a little bit. Just move this one's the tiniest bit. There. And the last one. Goes right there. Now I'm just gonna go to the middle once again. And we're gonna make the knot right here at the top. So I'm gonna grab my crochet hook once again, and I'm gonna pull that through and chain one. To me that's easier than just doing a knot, because then I can, you know, keep the tension on it. There. So we got a pumpkin head done. Now I'm gonna put the little stem at the top. Let me just tuck this one. Now I just finished putting on the stem. Now we just have to grab our black yarn or thread and embroider the smile, and if you want to do any other details, it's up to you. I'm gonna just do it, put it simple, 2 rows down the eyes this way. And about this. Oops. I'm just gonna pull and pull. And now we got this little loop there. Now I'm gonna do like stitches down there. I just finished embroidering the mouth, and this is how it's looking like. It looks a lot cuter with the rounded eyes. Maybe the mouth did a little bit too further down. So yeah, just keep in mind my mistakes so you don't have them. So this is the ending result. I hope you like it, and I hope you give it a try. I had so much fun making this for you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to get more video tutorials on little crochet amigurumis for free. Thank you, see you next time.